Yes, I have to talk to you and get with you when I can get with you. Until we have communication devices that you and I have developed and control, we can no longer trust our communication to Ivy Tower, Three Stooges, to people that are intent on betraying the trust of the people. I believe in simple fidelis, forever faithful. That is a pledge I took, and that is a pledge I stand by as long as I'm breathing the hydrogen and oxygen provided to me by the creator of our worlds. You follow me, follow me. We have to encourage you to claim your inheritance from the creator of all the world. Let me prop this thing up here somewhere. I told you your inheritance amounts to 2,401,000,000 United States dollars. That is your value, even on the what you all refer to as Wall Street trading market. Yes, I know. I know that they told you. They told you that you were like collateral. Well, first they told you a lot of things. What's important, they convinced you that you had no value. That was the issue. That you really, in fact, you just worthless. That's how they define the masses of human beings. You basically worthless. You have no value. And the only people who have value, of course, is those people with money. This is what they have impressed upon your mind and also impressed upon my mind as a child. Fortunately, my mother's name was Grace, and she would not allow such wooden nickels to be even attempted to be sold around her. She ensured and guaranteed that we were very clear in our fundamental common sense so that crooks, conmen, and other predatory personalities could never take advantage of our children. She made sure we were immune to those kind of viruses. That's what they are, viruses. You recall earlier I called them vectus viruses. That is precisely what they are. Vectus, block off energy. It shuts down energy. It shuts your energy down. It does not allow you to transmit energy in its pure form. Energy has to be communicated undefiled in its purest form. And the way to keep that energy is pure and that its highest transmitting pitch is knowledge. Pure knowledge. Remember that. There's no life now today except life that is flourishing in the Kemetic kingdom, which is established, shall be established for all times. You will not be able to enter into this kingdom unless your heart and your mind is that of a little child, that you are able to receive immaculate conceiving truth. It's the only way that you can be in a condition of receptivity. And that is the only way that you will be counted in the kingdom of God. Remember what I said about commissions. Commissions always observe reality from the highest vantage point of consciousness. They never go on simply the five senses. Well, six senses also. But the sixth senses on the sixth level is intuitive. It is your intuition. Of course, on the mechanical holographic construct, the actions of physical activity should be transmuted, but of course, because they are not fully open to the intuitive powers, the energy of the mechanical cannot be alchemized or transmuted properly into the highest possible frequencies. A lot of people maybe don't want to hear this, but the whole theory of the atomic structure, they've been leading you down the pathway of misconception. And again, I wouldn't say the lies, but I would say a thorough misunderstanding of the physics and the quantum configuration of creation. It just, the way they are presented to you in terms of atomic structure is completely senseless, makes no sense, and is baffling to any investigative mind. But I would tell you, study the nature of the black microdot, triple melanated condition of mystic stillness. Study that. That's the beginning of creation, the essence of creation. And that is where all proceeds from. It does. I tell you what, I'm not going to take up any more of your time except to repeat that I've made several challenges to NASA and also to the United States government, whom act like they cannot hear that we have the opportunity to bridge the gap by the United States being 140 years behind the technology, behind everybody. Not be deluded. They're so far behind Russia until it's a crying shame. China have just completely outstripped America. Even in their common sense, because they allow China to use the United States as a dumping ground for cheap products that don't last. You'd be fortunate if it lasts a week. You know these things. I'm not speaking about anything that you don't already know. But it's our fault. It's not China's fault. China has to solve its economic problems. China has to take care of 1 billion human beings. And considering you compare how China is taking care of its 1 billion to how the United States is taking care of its 260 million, the United States is not even being considered on the world stage as anything serious, man. Come on, man. Come on, listen. The only light that will be pure enough to bring you into the kind of abundant and joyful life that you are seeking, and that's what you're seeking as a human being. You're seeking the full release of the beauty and purity of your soul. You must have a full release of that energy. The only way you can release that energy in its full, pure form is within the kingdom of Kemet. I feel so sorry for some of you because they're just not going to be any help for you. Tells me the reasons why you would choose not to enter the kingdom of Kemet and choose to stay in the gutter. Choose to keep company to dead things, corpses, and to live in shadows and to hide from the light like a roach, a rodent, or some other foul thing. Come up into the light, breathe the oxygen of light, absorb the love of Kemetic kingdom, and live the kind of life that the Creator designed for you, and to live that life. It does not take struggle. You will not have to struggle or fight to live the kind of life I'm talking about. That kind of life comes with ease. In fact, if you encounter too much tension, you can rest assured that you're on the wrong path. For they, Almighty God, have made things simple, very simple, that a 5-year-old can understand it. And you know, Isabu is not talking about anything that does not ring true to your very soul. You know that. You know that. So it begins with the confession and admission of the truth. As I say in the kingdom of Kemet, women are considered holy and divine. And if you make the mistake of disrespecting a woman in my company, I promise you, as much as I love you, but I promise you this, you won't disrespect anybody else again ever in your life. That is a promise.